I got your wig, ho. Ha ha. You're mad. Miss Wikiana. Miss Wig. Miss Wikiana. Miss Wig.
Brian from Philadelphia said, Karen, it seems like you look down on Michael and Ashley for some reason. They seem like a fun couple, so why wouldn't you want to hang out with them more often?
You know, I actually like Michael and Ashley as a couple. I just think where Ashley and I separate is the fact that Ashley is the same age as my son. And there's ways that I would do things that you wouldn't.
I feel as though age is really irrelevant. The fact of the matter is, even if I was in my 50s, if my husband comes to our home, I will always welcome him with open arms.
Well, I'm going to hold you accountable here, and I'm going to quote you. If there's a protrusion, they won't be coming to the beach house that weekend.
He came on the last night.
Not the point. Not the point. You gave the guidelines.
Last night.
You gave the guidelines and you lied.
In the morning.
You just
lied.
lied.
Like he was there throughout the whole trip.
First night, last night.
You're trying so hard right now. The man was there in our home because he loves me and he surprised me. You're just upset that Ray didn't think to do it. That's your problem.
Ray wouldn't do that. Ray wouldn't do that.
And you know what, Giselle? You calling my man creepy and disgusting?
No, what he said was...
No, you said creepy and disgusting.
Right, but I'm going to say what you said.
I didn't say anything to you.
No, you said you're excited about the fact that you're sleeping with 7 women.
I didn't say that. I didn't say sleeping with 7 women. I said I'm coming down to enjoy being with 7 women.
It was definitely my hand, and I didn't push her.
And so were you trying to...
Stop her.
I got it.
It was a stop.
Yep. You said you blacked out. So once you saw it, what was your emotional reaction after you saw what happened in the footage?
I was more so trying to figure out what happened in this moment that would cause me to react this way. It was just like, she must have did something to make me snap.
Was it your impression then that she physically attacked you?
No. I've said from the beginning that I was triggered.
What triggered you?
It was when she did like this up under my chin, when she reached her hand across, and it was just like she was doing this. When her hand got in my face, that's when I was like, whoa.
That didn't happen.
You did that.
Yes, it
That
did.
didn't happen?
No.
No one told... No,
Karen,
Michael, stand
older
corrected
than you,
here. I did
and
not tell you to leave your home.
the way your etiquette is not the way it is. You
Sweetheart,
telling my
I did
wife
not
about
tell you to
etiquette,
leave your home.
You have no idea about etiquette. In my home,
Michael, don't
it's
take
my
me on.
rules.
Stay in your... Are you one of the women? Do you have a dress on?
Your home,
do you have a dress
your
on?
home, your rules. My home, my rules.
Michael, you know, and I know, you were trying to have a male fantasy situation with 7 beautiful women in the house.
Your wife runs around. Your wife runs around in her bathing suit all the time. Your boobs were out at the drag
wife
club.
any day, any time, but not with other 7 other women there.
So, Ray, you think you went there with the intention of that it was titillating to him?
It'll be titillating to any man to go and visit with 7 women for the night.
Look at what I have. Why would I
see
be
what you
titillated
have.
by Karen?
Don't come for me, Michael.
I can come for you.
My man been bold and exciting for this for 20 years. Stay in your lane.
Robin, you didn't have a problem with it. Why?
I like Michael. His intentions were to see his wife. They weren't to, like, get up in my panties. So
Thank you, Robin.
I just wasn't offended by that. And we had a good time.
Charisse, do you agree with Robin?
Absolutely. 100%.
You said yourself you didn't have time to reflect on what happened, and you weren't remorseful. So why have the meeting?
I simply wanted to apologize for them being put in harm's way.
It is interesting that you were apologizing to them and not Candace.
Because at that moment, all I know is we just got into a fight. I felt as though she was wrong. Thank God nobody got hurt. So my initial response was, I need to get all the women. I got hurt as well.
Okay.
I mean, I'm saying the other ladies.
Candace, I know that it is difficult to relive and watch again. Actually, I don't think you were watching when it was playing.
I was not.
You were not watching. I wonder, have you seen the footage at all? Did you ever watch it?
I got the footage in November when it was subpoenaed. I didn't watch it until February.
Okay. And what was your reaction when you saw it back?
I don't want to talk about this.
Well, I mean, we have to talk about it, unfortunately.
I couldn't watch it. I didn't watch it for however many months because I didn't want to see myself that way. I didn't want to see me fighting with someone who I thought was my friend. It made me angry. It made me sad. It embarrassed me.
Karen, you called Michael a freak. You said you and Ray would never come to a couples weekend at Michael and Ashley's home. What do you think goes on during a couples weekend at their home?
I have no idea. That's why I won't be there.
And you'll never find out. You'll never be invited. So it's fine.
Well, I appreciate
Mutual
that. Don't
understanding.
Waste Don't waste your ink. It won't happen.
I shall not.
But also, Ray, at the golf course, you seem like you were being told what to say.
Who would tell me what to say?
Oh, I wonder who would tell you what
Karen,
to
you
say
know
at any
exactly
point.
There's
in time.
nobody in this room that can tell me what to say.
You're not talking.
There's
you
nobody
make so
in this
many
room that can tell me what to say.
excuses for Michael's behavior.
I
It is
make
so
no
sad.
excuses.
You do. You know,
My
some of
husband
his
is fun.
behavior is
That's
poor.
how, no.
Poor. And
He's
you
a
just
fun
go,
person,
oh, well,
Karen.
it's
Take
just
some
Michael.
notes.
Oh, no,
Take
he's
some
an
notes.
Aussie. Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
take some notes and learn how to have a good time, boo. You're a whack-ass yacht party.
Joanne from La Jolla is pissed that you said that Karen and Giselle are having menopausal mood swings.
I'm not in menopause at all.
But you know what? You want to live long enough to have menopause, my love. And you want to look like
It's only
this.
a few more
Okay?
years.
This
This
ain't
is
too
true.
bad.
She's not in menopause.
And I own it.
I'm not saying you're not attractive, but y'all's attitude
even
is
close
pretty
to
stank
menopause.
sometimes.
Esmeralda from Fort Lauderdale said, Giselle, do you really think Michael is gay and hiding it from Ashley?
Do I think Michael is gay? It's none of my business.
That's the first time you've ever said that,
It's none of my
actually.
business.
That was an
Whoa.
answer.
Whoa,
That
that's
wasn't an answer.
monumental.
Well, but
It's none of my
saying it's
business.
none of your business is not whether you think it.
So it has nothing to do with me. It's between Ashley and
So do you
Michael.
think it?
For Ashley's sake, I hope not.
Still up. I'm still not okay.
Can I say something about that, Andy, really quickly? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk about Candace, like, just get over it, girl. Why aren't you over this? Why are you still crying? And that has bothered me because I'm like, it's not for us to judge when she gets over her mental and emotional journey of having her head banged up, and it's just unfair. And mental trauma is a big deal.
She knew that I did not start or initiate the physicality of this fight.
I can't.
Millions of strangers attacking me.
What do they say?
They call me a snitch.
Talk to me about the squeezing the ass.
I got very fond of Andrew. He's a great guy, and we were just joking around, and he has a nice ass, so I grabbed it. I mean, it's as simple as that. Listen, girls, most of you wouldn't do too well in Australia, because ass grabbing, having fun, being with great people is basically what we do every day, all day, so...
I'm moving to Australia.
I bet you would, Andy.
Ray, how would you feel if Michael grabbed your ass on the dance floor?
That would be a problem. I might knock him in the mouth.
What? Well, Karen, you delivered what might be the craziest line of the season at the Come to Jesus launch. I have to ask, how is Michael ejaculating inside of Ashley going to fix the problems in your friendship?
Well, she had... No. Actually, Ashley has shared with us that she wants to have a baby. The conversation of my daughter came up more than once. I suggest she let them stay in there and
I think
make
that's
their
none
own
of your
baby.
business.
That is so
Yeah,
crass
what's
and
your
so
business?
inappropriate.
tripped me
And here you
out.
are, the grand dame of Potomac with the mouth
put this
like...
out
You
there.
put it out
You
there,
put it out
Ashley.
there.
You
we
said
bringing
you
up right
jerked
then
your
and
man
there?
off.
I am prayerful that you will procreate. Your fascination with my child?
You're delusional when you think that I want to be best
Ashley,
friends with your
would know-
18-year-old daughter.
You may not be
Dear
delusional, but
gosh.
you are certainly on some meds, and they need to be adjusted.
Whatever,
okay?
girl.
You put it out here, and you don't want anybody to call you on it. I'm not married to Michael. You are. You have to make excuses for Michael. I don't.
I don't make any excuses for anything.
You
I love
excuse
Michael
bad
just the
behavior all
way
the time.
he is.
That's delusional.
I love him just the
You
way
should.
he is.
And go get your meds adjusted, honey.
She saw it, and she went to sleep at night and allowed it to be.
I don't understand how she develops these narratives in her head, and it sucks that she's doing it because she's actually making it worse for herself. I'm not sitting at home wanting for her life to be ruined and for people to attack her on social media.
You're very matter-of-fact and dry about the whole thing.
I
which
went
is
through, y'all
interesting.
missed it. I went through all of my emotions.
I understand, but it's interesting. Here we are. You've been thinking about this reunion for a year. You're face-to-face with her for the first time in a year. I think it's odd that you're very unemotional about it.
I'm just not built like that. I was more so trying to figure out what happened in this moment that will cause me to react this way. You've been trying to get Kendall on the show.
Let's be very clear. Yes, I did season 1, season 2, recommend Kendall for the show.
You did.
I did. Did Giselle and I have our little tiff? Yes, we did. I would be very honest to say that going into season 3, yeah, I was like, oh, let's see what we can with Giselle. I was. However, I had nothing to do with Kendall actually coming on the show.
That's a lie.
How is it a lie, Monique?
Because you sat right there with me and said it's time for Kendall to have a cameo at Giselle's birthday party.
Okay. From the words of Robin.
Liar. Whatever.
I mean,
What? Okay, well,
amnesia.
let me ask you a question. Hold on. Giselle, let me ask you this.
Such a liar.
Does it change your opinion at all hearing that Charisse had been thinking, oh, she would be good for the show for those 2 seasons, and then
Oh, no,
prior...
I knew that too. She begged to be on season 1, but she was boring.
Okay.
She begged to be on season 2, same thing, boring. It wasn't until I started dating Sherman until all of a sudden she gets pulled out of a closet.
Okay.
By Monique.
Okay.
It wasn't by me.
Yes, it was.
Giselle, this is what you don't understand. I don't think about you like that.
Obviously you
Nobody
do.
The song that was written, that it was clearly addressed to me. As soon as I saw the name of the song, I knew it was about the fight. Then to say, well, it wasn't about them, it was about standing up to bullies, is such an insult on my intelligence and on everyone's intelligence up here.
The song is called Drag Me?
Drag
It's called
Queens.
Drag Queens. My therapist wanted me to write Candace a letter. I said, I don't feel comfortable doing that. She said, okay, write a song about it. The title and the hook came later. That song is a culmination of a lot of things in my whole entire life.
Why can't she
You felt bad.
apologize and you accept an
Thank
apology?
you.
She didn't
Because they don't-
apologize.
She said she
I'm
felt
not
bad.
apologizing to her. I wish,
You should.
When I see
You
when I
should.
see
Sherman, you would
when I see
apologize.
him, I will definitely
Sherman don't want to hear Jack be
apologize.
nimble from you.
Well, that's
okay?
fine.
And he has
That's
made that
fine.
point.
I
If he
was
doesn't
gonna
wanna hear it,
say-
that's fine.
He don't
Well,
hear
I
what
was
if
going to
could
say,
take it back,
I have
would.
to assume that if he was freaking out about being put on blast from the People magazine, that really set the 2 of you back more.
He knows that that's not me. He knows that Monique is a horrible person.
Oh,
so he's
shut
cool with
up.
it.
You should know how of a horrible person you are.
Understanding.
So he's cool with it.
I mean, you know what I mean?
He don't know me like that.
Are you a recording artist?
I was recording music before Housewives.
It's not great. I mean, it doesn't sound great. If you were sitting here, how would that sound to you?
If she needed to write a song because I'm a creative person, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Well,
You're more than welcome to write a song.
Can I
But
say
you
this?
That's what you
also
need.
never apologized to her first.
Because I was not going to offer her an apology over social media.
I never
I would
wanted
never
a social media
imagine that a
apology.
social media apology would be any way to apologize.
Y'all got to understand that this mess went legal.
Wasn't it thrown out by the end of the
but
season?
you got to understand.
It was thrown out by
once-
the end of the year.
Right, by the end of last year.
2019.
Once
Yes.
things
So
go
we've had a whole
legal, I'm
year.
going to take the advice of my attorney.
I think you got bad advice.
It's not bad advice. She made choices.
Let me ask you this, Candace. Courtney from Madison, Wisconsin said you got dragged because you were running your mouth. Can you take some accountability for how provoking you can be?
Yes, I'm absolutely accountable for my mouth. I'm a wordsmith. I have a smart-ass mouth. I'm good at, cussing and fussing. But we also have to go back and look at all 4 instances prior to the winery when I was being provoked and baited. And what did I do? I walked away. By the time we got to the winery, it's like, why are we still doing this?
Did not feel bad
I
until
want to
Twitter
take
roasted you.
all of it back.
That's
Why
when
can't she
you felt
apologize
bad.
and you accept an
Thank
apology?
you.
She didn't
Because they don't-
apologize.
She said she
I'm
felt
not
bad.
apologizing to her. I wish,
You should.
When
She
I
said
see
she
when
You
I
should.
see
See Sherman, you would
when I see
apologize.
him, I will definitely
Sherman don't want to hear Jack
apologize.
be nimble from you.
Well, that's
okay?
fine.
And he has
That's
made that
fine.
point.
I
If he
was
doesn't
gonna
wanna hear it,
say-
that's fine.
He don't
Well,
hear
I
what
was
if
going to
could
say,
take it back,
I have
would.
to assume that if he was freaking out about being put on blast from the People magazine, that really set the 2 of you back more.
He knows that that's not me. He knows that Monique is a horrible person.
Oh,
so he's
shut
cool with
up.
it.
You should know how of a horrible person you are.
Understanding.
So he's cool with it.
I mean, you know what I mean?
He don't know me like that.
I am confused about where Monique and Charisse's friendship stands because
Where
it
it is
doesn't
none.
seem
I'm
that
confused, too.
great right now.
It's not.
No.
It hasn't been good.
I can't take it. I just can't.
Take what?
The lying, I can't. It's just so crazy to me. It's so crazy.
You've never apologized to her,
No, I didn't.
and she's crying and had to leave and go gather herself. You seem very unemotional. You're very matter of fact and dry about the whole thing.
I literally went from one mental state to the next, and then right after that, there's my name in the headlines of being pressed charges against.
You put your hands on me, and then you allow lies to be perpetuated that almost took me the out of here.
Okay. All right. Does she control your emotions for the rest of your life? Okay. Look, I get it. There's nothing that you can say that's going to change her mind about anything. So we're going to get some makeup touched up. We're going to go out there. We're going to finish this up. And then we're going to go out and have some dinner. And then we'll send these cameras somewhere else and, we'll do some other stuff.
It's the wink for me. It's the wink.
I'm just trying to get a little bit of a smile. She still has that you motherfuckers look on her face. There it is. There we go. Got it. Okay. Now we're ready to move on.
When you met Ashley, you had her trying on bathing suits.
I did like Ashley.
For your daughter. And then in the end, you said you did not want her hanging out with your daughter.
You're right.
Why?
You're humping strangers in public upon first meeting them. You talk about the size of your man's penis at a dinner table. Then you proceed to tell us about putting it in, pulling it out, and you want to be a role model to my daughter?
No.
My advice to any mother that is looking at this, run if she comes that way.
You were talking about Ray filling your holes.
But that was between Ray and I, and if you take it and run with it, Annie, you're taking and running with it.
But is that different from what she's saying? I mean...
What I say, Andy, was with amongst grown women. I would never violate her daughter and say anything.
My daughter will be just fine not humping people in public that she first
Stop
meets.
being a helicopter mom and let her live.
Karen has a mouth like a sailor, and I wouldn't want any of my children around you,
and he
Karen,
has actions
with
like
the
a
things
sailor,
that you say.
clearly.
And they're 24 and they're 21, but I still don't want her around them.
I think your behavior is deplorable for old granddaddy.
Rather you not get anywhere near
Okay,
my
now we
children.
all right. Just roll up off me.
We all know that motherhood changes a woman.
Yes.
Typically for the better.
Yeah.
So that's what we would like to see from Ashley.
Well, that's not possible to change her for the better, so...
Yeah, thank you,
Because she's
honey.
already...
She's fantastic, yeah.
Thank you, sugar.
Nothing better
That's
than
my
that.
boo.
He's supposed to say that.
That's my boo.
That's good.
I'm sorry, where's your man, Giselle?
I never reached out to any blogger. I told my family who came in town, and there was one friend who was also there who I told.
So did you tell the people in your house that Candace threw a glass of wine at you, and that's why you attacked her?
I know who is the person who leaked it.
I mean, hindsight.
So y'all don't know what I'm doing. Y'all weren't around.
Gotta move on. Did anyone think that Candace was taking it too far?
Legal action never crossed my mind. Never.
So you did think that that was going too far?
I did.
I wanted legal action, but I didn't want the consequence to be she goes to jail.
What did you think was the appropriate consequence?
I don't know, like an ankle bracelet or something.
An ankle bracelet?
I mean, I don't know.
Hey, Charisse.
Hey, Andy, how are you?
Great to see you.
Good to see you.
Love your hair.
Thank you. You know, I'm on the market, so keeping it young.
You're not the only thing on the market. I heard that you just put your house on the market.
I did.
Wow, everything's up for sale.
Everything's for sale.
Really? Okay, let's get into it. Lawrence from Roosevelt, New York said, Giselle, I get what Monique did by inviting Kendall to her charity was messy, but why did Karen get a get out of jail free card in all of this?
Because this was something that Monique planned prior to us filming season 3.
That is not true.
That is very true.
True. It is not true.
You had just met Kendall.
I planned
2 to 3 weeks.
I didn't even know when I met Kendall that you
I'll
were
wait
the
till she's finished
woman that
talking.
her ex-husband was dating. I'm sorry.
This was somebody that, I mean, something that Charisse, I mean, that Monique was planning.
Can I just say as well that I'm an evil villain for trying to take her from her kids when you take it upon yourself to lose your and physically attack me? You should think about your kids then. Don't try and blame that on me.
Okay. Monique, why countersue when you had already admitted to your pastor that Candace didn't deserve what happened? You knew at that point you were wrong, and yet you still sued her.
Her quack lawyer told her to do it.
I hired an attorney so I could take my attorney's advice.
The countersuit was assault, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And
it was the same charge.
And Candace did not assault Monique.
The two cases canceled each other out, and your quack attorney knew that, and that's why he told you to countersue.
Have you exhibited any hood behavior this season?
Sure. I've exhibited uncouth behavior.
Okay.
No, it's
hood,
very
I wouldn't use
very
that word.
hood. Even the way you tweet is
I
hood.
wouldn't use that word. I'm not from the hood. I wouldn't use that word.
It's hood. I'm from the hood and I'm proud. How about that?
Very good. Be proud.
Go, girl. But you act like you're from the hood. Butter knives and all.
I was born and raised in a country club
like
community. Yes.
Act like it.
Yes. Okay.
There have been a lot of nasty exchanges between the two of you on social media. Monique, you said you blocked Candace.
Yeah. People are asking me on Instagram, has Candace reached out to me and apologized for her throwing you under the bus about the whole homicide comment?
And I said, actually, no, I haven't heard from her, and I felt like I was done wrong. She screenshots that and then puts best victim.
Is Chris coming out here?
He is.
He is.
So we can all check out his package. How
look
you
at
feel
it.
about that?
Through his pants.
You feel?
To answer the
Oh
question.
no, we're gonna see the brown deck tonight.
No, we're not, Andy.
What?
Yeah, we're
I'm
seeing
leaving.
it.
I'm leaving the couch.
He said, we're going to see it tonight.
Karen is leaving.
I'm leaving the
He'll
couch
be
if we
sitting
pull out a
behind
brown
here,
deck.
so you won't really
Don't
get to
nobody
see
want to
it.
see no mismatched dick.
You seem to bring up his race a lot. Is that a defense mechanism?
I try not to see color. I try to see the person for who they are. And that was what it was with Chris.
Except regarding dicks.
Well, yes.
Well,
I
it was
prefer brown
interesting.
dicks.
You did make a lot of comments about, like, that must be something that white people do. That's that white people stuff. That's
I
white
do.
people stuff.
I do.
But, like, why create that line? That
It's
division?
always said in jest, and I could say the same thing about a lot of the things that you say and the way that you approach many issues in your life.
What do I say that is similar to you saying the white and black comparisons?
It doesn't have to be similar. It's just that you stick your nose and your face and your forehead in a lot of things that you have no place in. And then you want to pull back and say, oh, well, maybe I didn't mean that. Monique and the drinks thing. At this point,
So-
it's
But you're dwelling on it. You're bringing it back up.
I'm
So
not.
we're
You
going to
asked me
rehash
for an
it. So now we're going to
example.
rehash
No.
it.
You live and breathe to
You
talk about
said,
people.
but then,
You
but
live
then,
and breathe.
But you want to
If
call
you
me
are not
out,
talking about
but yet
people,
you did it.
you are not breathing. I didn't ask you to come back in and rehash all of your answers and all of your rehearsed answers.
You sound like Pageant Patty all the time, girl. Not me.
And
okay?
Pageant Patty has a national title, boo. So where's yours? Okay.
I was.
Where's yours?
But I competed for Miss
yet,
America.
And where were you?
You
were
did,
yet clapping in
off-brand
the back.
pageant, girl.
She was
I
yet
can't believe I'm
clapping
arguing
in
about
the
this.
back.
Already
She lied to
had
me.
gotten past
She
it.
lied to me about the whole Amistad comment. She said, it just was said in jest.
So I did not lie to you. I repeated it as I thought it was said.
And then the other issue was the fact that you would take that to the one person who you know we've had issue.
No.
It was almost like
No.
you're trying to create some mess.
It was stupid to take that back to her sworn enemy. That was wrong. It was stupid. We know how.
Praise Lord. Hallelujah. Amen.
How much of a fool of a mess she can be, and I knew that. Yes, I knew that. As soon as it came out, and you made it about, oh, she's a slave.
No. I asked the question. Was she referring to her like a slave? And you said yes.
Take responsibility.
I took responsibility for
It
it.
seems like the real reason the two of you fell out is because of Ashley. Does anyone else think that it's weird that Ashley and Monique became good friends? Giselle?
Absolutely.
Yes, I was in shock.
Girl, good night.
It's daytime.
Good night. She's talking shit, so
Yellow
go
like
to
the
bed.
sun, so wake on
Good
up,
night.
okay?
You must be weary. Go to bed.
Patricia from Evansville, Indiana said, Candace, why would you be okay marrying a man that's comfortable living in a house that your mother is paying for?
My mother is not paying for our home. So my home, okay, she is paying for our home, but it is not. But it is not in the way that the Saints want to make it so. That home is an investment home, and Chris contributes half of the rent.
She's not a housewife, she's a house daughter. That's great. I'm happy for you.
And you're a house trollop. Be quiet.
Angie B on Twitter said, when did Monique start wanting to defend Ashley? How did she so easily forget that Ashley called her a drunk all last season?
How do
not
people
call
so
Monique a
easily
drunk.
forget that I forgave her for that? I guess people just don't forgive in this world anymore. But I'm a person where if I forgive you, I'm going to move forward as if those things are in the rearview mirror. When I take a stance, it doesn't matter about friendship. It's about what's right and what's wrong. And I felt strongly about the way that Candace was coming after her about the whole trying to get pregnant journey and all of those things. And I'm like, that's not cool.
You made up
disrespected
rumors
by
about
you.
Monique drinking and driving 5 seconds after she told us about her miscarriage.
First of
So
all,
what-
I
what
apologize
is
to Monique for
sensitivity?
anything that transpired between
Why are we
Monique and
bringing up
me.
season
I don't
3?
need you to talk
Because
about
season
anything that
3 is
has to do-
relevant
No,
right
it's not.
now.
You made it relevant,
It's
though.
relevant
Nobody
right
was
now.
talking about that anymore.
How much of the restaurant does Chris own?
That is proprietary information.
That's a valid question
It is
because like,
personal.
our chef
I'm
has
sure it is to you.
a percentage in our restaurants. We call him one of the owners, but
Yes.
in actuality, it's a fairly small percentage. So I think that's a fair question that Andy asked.
That's cute, but it's still no one's
It's a
business.
fair question, so you can
But
deflect
it's
all you
no one's
like.
business. No,
but
ma'am.
that was a fair
Just because
question.
you
That
like
was
to
a fair
share
question.
everything but your twat with the world,
You
does not
shared,
mean-
you shared your
Well, I
man's
mean,
penis, and you're going to come for me?
You're both on a reality show about your lives. So,
sure,
I mean,
yes.
There's no,
and we reserve the
let's be
right
clear.
to be judicious about what we share.
What's going on with Chris and his kids?
They're great.
Do you have a relationship with his ex-wife?
I do not. I do not.
You should try to resolve that.
So you think
it's
she
very
should have a relationship with these women?
I think she should have a relationship with the ex-wife. Just a mutual, cordial one, because
Well, we
it's
have
all
that.
about the
We do have
kids.
that. Yes, yes. Yeah.
And if things are contentious between the two
children
of you,
pick up on that.
Yeah,
For sure.
So just understand that.
Naya from Atlanta says it's crazy that you're having over 250 guests at your wedding.
Well, she needs more friends. She needs more friends.
Are all the ladies invited?
Almost everyone is invited.
I haven't been invited.
Right.
Was Ashley invited?
She was, yes.
Have you RSVP'd?
And y'all just called each other twats.
Right.
So y'all understand each
It's
other's
a love-hate
energy.
relationship. What can we
But
say?
she
I mean, I love her
understands
ultimately.
That's pageant time.
I think the beauty of Ashley and I's relationship is that, you know, I see in Ashley what I lack in some ways, and that's her free spirit. And I am often very tightly wound, and I can be a little high-strung.
Really?
Not all the time, just sometimes, child. And I can look past your messiness for the most part, because I do see good in you. And so for that
nice.
reason,
I appreciate
Very
that.
kind.
yes.
I appreciate
Well,
that.
let me ask you this. You know, Giselle gave you some good advice tonight.
Yes.
Do you want to reconsider that invite?
Well, Giselle said she ain't want to come. On multiple occasions, she has said, I don't want to be at that wedding. I don't need to be there.
Invitations cost
I'm gonna
money.
be
You
fine
have
if
to
I'm
save
not
that
there.
money, too.
So she don't need to come.
Yeah, but do you want to invite her? Whether she wants to come, shouldn't...
Right, Andy, you're being messy.
Well, that's what I do.
I don't want to invite anyone anywhere that they don't want to be.
All right. Noah from Naples says, Monique, why did you think it was okay to give Ashley your phone to read Candace's private text messages?
Okay, the whole point of me showing that particular text message exchange was because Candace kept saying that we were all laughing when the news broke about Michael.
We were.
I was not laughing about the news when it broke about Michael. I was in complete shock.
So
I was
you
very
think that
uncomfortable.
because that one text
And as
exchange
soon as-
doesn't show you laughing, that exonerates you?
okay,
You're saying
I'm
there were
talking.
other conversations.
I'm talking. So anyway, as
doesn't.
soon as the article broke, I text Candace and I'm like, yo,
Right.
did you see this? And she's like, laugh out loud, I saw it.
Okay, so
when
can you
were like-
see, though, if this is your good girlfriend, all you had to do to defend yourself was say, look, girl, I'm not saying anything.
I've done that before.
And then leave it alone. Like,
I got
you don't
the
have to throw
homicide
her
comment
under
and
the
other
bus.
things that happened in the past. Who wants to deal with that?
Candace, did Monique talk trash about Ashley and Michael to you in other instances outside of that text
we have
conversation?
had many conversations where they were shady
Like
toward
what?
Ashley and Michael.
Like what?
Was there something about karma catching up with you?
That's a fact. Karma does not play. I was stating the facts.
Okay, but
I
then-
state facts.
You know, I mean,
and
'cause
it's
it felt like,
perceived as
Monique,
judgy.
you were throwing all of us under the bus, not just Candace.
How
because
so?
in that conversation, you said they were laughing, they, them, everyone else.
everybody
so
was.
If you, no,
No,
wait.
no. All right, no, wait.
What did you think of the karma comment?
She ain't gonna nothing about it because she's not gonna change her mind.
I didn't like it, I will
But
say.
remember, you're spiritual
but
now.
as time went on, yes,
As of
as
5
time went
minutes ago.
on, the fact that Monique said those things in the beginning, it was her actions as things went forward, the way she was supportive of me and all that to me just spoke volumes.
Michaela from Burlington, Vermont said, Candace, what did you mean when you said you thought Monique used you as a ladder to get to Ashley?
I
As if I would need a ladder.
felt and I still feel like the coming together of Ashley and Monique is odd, it's strange. We've all said that.
Me forging a friendship with
I
her had
felt
nothing to
like
do with you.
That's not, no. I feel like
It was
you,
based off
you
of an
used,
apology and a
you had to
conversation,
use
truthfully.
me to make me look
Nobody
bad
used you.
so that
You
you
used
could get in
yourself
her
by
good
inserting
graces.
yourself into her
That is
business.
the way that
That
I
was
felt.
all you.
That's the way
That
that,
was
I felt.
all you.
Why
And
did you
then
need
you
to talk about what
decided-
I'm doing with her?
And
What
then
we
you
have going on is
decided
not about
that-
you.
no,
Why
then
are
you
you
decided that
chastising
you
me and
wanted to
coming
say
at
I
me
was on
in
her
front
side.
of her so that you can look good in her
It
graces?
had nothing to do with looking good.
That's why. You're trying to take me down and
Nobody
chastise
was,
me
you took
in front,
yourself down,
in front
Candace.
of
You did that
people
by
that don't.
yourself.